What up, y'all? This is Black Talk TV back at y'all again. I got another live reaction that I want to do with y'all. I don't know if y'all caught Tasha K she interviewed a lady by the name of Yonci, and she's a self-proclaimed dating coach. And I was watching a few minutes of it, and then I was like, let me just go ahead and stop this here because I want to do a live reaction to the video. And I want my commentary and reactions and everything, of course, to be fresh, just like I seen it for the first time. Because from what I heard before I cut it off, she was saying a lot of things that was interesting, that was pretty good, that I wanted to speak on. And I like doing these when these dating coaches, life coaches, when they give interviews and tell us, what they've been seeing or going through or dealing with their clients, because it's real life shit. They're dealing with real life people who are either looking for love, relationships, or whatever. And we just get to hear, the difficulties of what they're, going through, finding out, or just pretty much everything in a nutshell. It gives us deeper into the mind of the Black woman when it comes to dating, and when they're looking for a man to share their life with, and how they pretty much how they think. We see stuff like this all the time. But I specifically love when the dating coaches come on here and give share their views with us and what they've been seeing and experiencing, pretty much, dealing with that field. So let's go ahead and spin the block on this, because the video is it's a good, it's about an hour, a good hour long. And yeah, so let's go ahead and listen to it and break this down, because she says a lot of interesting stuff. And I want to give y'all my commentary from a Black man's perspective. Let's go.
I'm excited, because I love when I'm able to provide solutions for my viewers, right? Yeah, and so my viewers are 90% women, ages 25 to 65, 70. Okay. Nice. And they don't miss any of the wine that we drop over here. We do a lot of relationship-based wine and stuff. And I came across your profile the other day, chasing Yonci, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you are a dating coach.
I am. Kind of stumbled into it.
How did you stumble into becoming a dating coach?
Oh, child. Okay. It's a whole story, but I'll try to give you the cliff notes. Okay. So basically, I graduated from college and instantly got married. I was one of those ones just itching to get married. I did 12 years. And then I made
it making it sound like a prison sentence. I did 12 years.
I mean, it was hard time. It was, I got out of
it. Okay.
When you don't know, when you don't know what you're doing and you're not, I should say, aligned.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch.
It can be difficult. I try my best to not speak specifics, about my ex-husband, because it's not his choice to be in the spotlight. But I will just say it was extremely difficult, and it took a lot for me to walk away. Most women, it takes a lot to walk away. We're not casually divorcing. So I chose to do that after 12 years and 2 children, and I found myself in the dating streets, and I would get hollered at all the time when I was married. I just told them I wasn't interested. So I thought, it's gonna be easy, piece of cake. I'll be having dates. It was not. It was so confusing. There was so much I didn't understand. It was not straightforward. I like you, you like me. We go together. It was not. So I created a separate page because being in social media, you're not trying to have everyone your business. I made a separate page, and I just started asking the questions. I asked men, why y'all do this? What is this? What do you ghost for? I literally just asked questions that you would ask your guy friends. And after a while, traction started building where men wanted to have a damsel in distress. And then other men wanted to see what other guys said to see if they were aligned. And then of course the women were in the background, with popcorn, just like me. And so after a while, people were speaking to me as though I was an influencer. And I was like, I am some suburban, single mom just trying to get answers. And I actually had a professional reach out to me, and he was proverbially shaking my shoulders going, man, you have a gift. You need to do this for real, for real.
Well, see, look, she has a gift. Look, man, dude, I'm thinking dude was just trying to smash, trying to get on your good side or something. Because let's just break this down on how she got into this. Did y'all hear what I heard? She said she was married first. She was married for 12 years to this dude. They had kid. They had at least one kid. So she was married 12 years, had at least one kid. And then she ended up, leaving this dude. It was hard for her to leave and this and that. But anyway, she ended up leaving. Now they are divorced. She got back out into the dating market. And the dating market pretty much was not going her way. It was not fitting her. The dating market was not the old days of men courting women, catering to women, pursuing them, all that good mess. She's now back out to the dating market, and her words herself, she by default became a dating coach because she wasn't having success in the dating market. So she started to ask men questions as to why we do this, why we don't do this, why we do that, why we don't do that, because she was failing in the dating market. So pretty much, that's so pretty much now she has a huge following after doing that for a while, a huge following of Black women and Black men. But now, of course, her following is majority of Black women. And they are following and asking this chick who's a self-proclaimed dating coach, not knowing that she was failing in the dating market. So it's like, why would you want to take advice from a woman who is failing in the dating market herself? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, some men hyped her up and saying you was asking all these questions and everything like that, and they're giving you feedback. So, and then one dude just took it upon himself to say, hey, you have a gift simply because you were asking men questions. That's not a gift. That's not a gift. Well, he must have been trying to sniff them panties. Like, you have a gift just because you can speak and communicate with others about the dating market. Like, this is absurd, yo. But her words, this is how she got to become a dating coach. She was failing in the dating market, had no idea why she was failing, and she wanted to find out why she was failing. So she started to begin to ask questions, and over time, she just morphed that into becoming a dating coach. God damn. Okay, so pretty much Black women listen to a person who is failing herself in the dating market on getting advice on how to date men. All right, let's continue. I just wanted to make sure we got that right.
And so I did it for years in my Facebook community online just for fun. And he kind of shoved me onto YouTube, and shoved me onto Instagram. Best decision ever. But I hesitate to say I'm an expert. I just am an expert in the things I messed up on. And I could tell you what not to do and the things that work for me. And I keep a poll that, keep my finger to the pulse of men. And I think that's the thing that differentiates me. Just to close this up. With me and other people, I think a lot of times they give their opinion or they speak from their personal experience. Every single thing that I say, I have questioned men and wanted to make sure that they agree. And I actually invite that. I call it the male cosign, because I don't want to be out here saying things, pandering to women, making them feel good. And men are like, that ain't it. So my followers are like 45% men, which I wish it was more women, because that's what I am.
Probably looking for women.
They rocking with me, yeah. And they sent their girlfriends to me, their wives to me, my exes have sent their girlfriends to me. So it's a whole thing. Yeah, I hear funny stuff.
Repairing relationships too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do coaching for couples. That's my favorite, but I don't really talk about it. But that is my absolute favorite is communication. Because a lot of times what we're saying is being lost in translation. And a lot of times men don't know how to speak female. So he will say something and they don't know we need it wrapped a certain way. We need it spritzed with some perfume. You need to be soft in texture. You can't just come at us sometimes. So
But that's how we do. We're men. Like, what I'm saying? We don't. I don't understand why. Because it sounds like she's getting to the point of where how you speak to the woman makes a difference. The tone in your voice and when speaking to the woman, it makes a difference. And things of that nature. Women, women, they want to. It's funny because they are full-grown adults. They maneuver throughout this world in a very adult, grown manner. But when it comes to relationship and dealing with their man, all of a sudden they want to be treated with kid gloves. It's like, what I'm saying? It's like, man, you're an adult, man. Men, lots of men, we're not emotionally involved. What's the word they use? We're not emotionally emotionally involved pretty much like that. We don't really tap into our emotions as deep as the women do. We're too busy trying to handle, major important business on a daily basis than, get involved with, all the little emotions on topics and things that pretty much will seem petty or not as important to us as it will be to the female. But let's continue to spin this block.
Interpret a lot of times the couples are like, oh, okay, he's a good dude or she's a good chick. We just missing each other. So it's fun.
Okay. So on your profile, it says, I will show you how to properly vet men and tap into your feminine energy and attract true love.
Yes.
And then you want to know 22 places to meet men offline. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Hold that thought. They gotta listen to the rest of the interview because
it's hard to be meeting a person.
Man, these fucking ass gonna kill me. Come on, y'all.
You don't understand how many times I get asked that question. Like they could be 50s, 60s. I want to get out and date. I'm like, well, you got to get down there to the bingo hall. That's what I'm telling them. Get down there to the bingo hall.
There might be men, but women don't know what to do to give men choosing signals. So that's the problem. When I talk to women, they think through the eyes of women. Men don't have that luxury, not because they're their species, because they would get none if they didn't pay attention. They have to understand the way women work, or else they would get no love. And there are a lot of men who aren't getting any love right now. The record numbers, supposedly. But with women, because we're the recipients.
What? Because the one thing that I hear all the time is that it's hard to find men. It's hard to find, just men with money, men who want something, men who are fun. And you're saying there are lots of men out here in record numbers. Now, are we talking about all men, or are we just talking about black men? What are you talking about?
I didn't say they were desirable. Because a lot of people who hit me up and say I can't get women, I go to their page and I'm like, I might know why. Okay, so I'm not saying that the desirable ones, but a lot of women are wanting something that don't come in high numbers. So you don't have a ton of guys with emotional intelligence. That's why it's amazing when you meet someone. Or if a guy is really financially successful, he is well built, he's well versed, he has swag. Those guys tend to have their pick of the litter. And a lot of women don't want to see it that way, that, they have choices. So they're not going for what a man might consider an 8 or a 7 or a 6. You have a lot of women who are just average women. I don't want to use the term from a very famous guy, but there are women who are just average.
By the way, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, but go ahead.
I don't say names, but hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. These hoes crack me up and kill me when they don't want to say names. Shout out to Tasha K for mentioning Kevin Samuels' name. She does give him credit from time to time when they're speaking on topics like this. But of course, Yonci, she didn't want to give him any credit or mention his name when we know that half of her talking points is going to be coming to him. It's coming from him. Kevin Samuels was truly the godfather of this shit. He single-handedly pretty much birthed a whole nother sector on YouTube in regards to relationships between black men and black women. And it just kills me that we all know this. The whole entire wide world knows this, knows where the majority of these talking points have, were primary came from, but yet they don't want to give this man his credit, even after death. Like they still don't want to acknowledge this dude and give him his credit when we all know who you're talking about. I hate that. I really do. I hate that. Like these chicks are in the realm and in that sector of making money in that sector. Pretty much that was primarily, I'm not gonna say created, but pretty much took into a whole nother level, a whole nother threshold in which these topics has pretty much become like almost the number one genre of discussions all on YouTube within the black community. But yet they don't want to acknowledge that. I hate chicks like that. But with her goofy ass horse look, Mr. Ed looking ass smile. Let's go.
Go ahead. It's cool.
But that's the thing too. I mean, I know I'm all over the place, but there's a lot of delusion when it comes to women. And, I like to call myself the auntie. I'm going to tell you like it is, but I'm going to do it with love. And I think a lot of podcasters, they don't do it with love. So a lot of times the women overlook it. But the reality is a lot of women don't understand their market value. And so when I say that, it's like if you are, selling something in a garage sale, you probably seen those people who are really attached to something. It could be a blanket their granny gave. No one's paying $50 for that. Like, it has sentimental value to you, but to the average person, it looks like a piece of crap that they wouldn't even pay anything for. They throw it in the trash. So I'm not in any way comparing women to trash. It was a horrible example if you're thinking I'm literally saying that, but we have to understand our market value. So take me, for example. I'm not in the same shape I was in my 20s when I got married. I have more quote unquote baggage than I did. I was single. I was a virgin. I didn't have, a lot of relationship history. Now I have 2 kids. I'm divorced. So I have to be realistic and say, I'm not competing with a 20-something, year old. It's one thing to be like, yes, we're all fabulous. We are. But there's still the reality level of it. Just like a guy, if he's only 5'7", he's not getting the same options as a man who's 6'3" and built. It's we live in a real world. And so that's something that I think it's really helpful for women when they're looking for men, the types of things that women turn men down for. When I'm coaching, it's like,
bam, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Every comes pre.
Hun, you might want to hold on to some of these guys.
Give me some of the examples of men that women, you would say average women are turning down. I consider myself an average.
Well, before she goes on to that, so she said herself that she pretty much had to understand that. Well, she said that lots of women are delusional, which we already know. That's pretty much we by now the whole wide world knows that lots of women are delusional, and that women don't understand their fair market value, which is another term that Kevin Samuels used to speak on and speak about a lot. But yeah, lots of women do not understand their market value, their true market dating value, let alone do they want to believe what the true market value is. I mean, most women, it seems like all women, but definitely the majority of women think that they are above average, when we know full well that the majority of women, not only women, but the majority of men and women are simply average. But women want to feel and think for some reason that they're just so above average. Like you got fat chicks today who think they're above average. It's ridiculous. But shout out to Yonci. At least her dating market value severely plummeted because she's now older. She has 2 kids. She's not as fine as she was when she was younger, and she's no longer a virgin. I never really cared about the virgin thing. However, I mean, if a chick told me she had, more than 7, 8 bodies, I'm going to raise an eyebrow at that. You know what I'm saying? But I never really cared about a chick having to be a virgin. That was not really a must for me. But let's continue.
Average woman. Like, I really am. I'm 41. I got 2 kids, marriage, baggage, all of that. But if I was in the dating pool, I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn, Tasha 41 years old and she look older than me and I'm 44. It's crazy.
Be real.
I think you have to choose your battles. So for me, I had to see what is the most valuable thing. To me, kindness. Because of my history, I realized kindness is everything. Because you're going to go through times where I'm in the wrong. I don't want you coming at me, making me feel like an idiot, because I messed up. We're going to have imperfections. There are going to be difficult times. There's not always the romance. At the end of the day, I realized I really want a good friend. And I want somebody who is truly kind to me and kind to others. I can't stand for people, they're rude to the wait staff, or they act like people are beneath them, or things like that. And I think that women a lot of times are listening to these, big time podcasters who are saying things and it's all about the bag. And I do understand, like, the biggest thing I think that messes up women is the money. There's a difference between a guy who is just a bum, like he's in his mom's basement, he's not trying to do anything, he's trying to be a rapper at age 40. That's different. If he's an average guy who sells insurance and he's only making 80,000, right? Some people will overlook him if they're making 100,000. There's been this big push for women, they want someone who's making more than them, but the reality is they're not coming across those men, or those men are not choosing them, is actually a more accurate statement. There are men who make money, but if they're not being chosen. So what I would say is look at the people who approach you. That's your target market.
Exactly. And I mean, by now we all know this. There are lots of black men out here making good money. It's just, I mean, women, they no matter how much we say it, they still they don't want to believe it. That we see, like, we just off of appearance alone, we can tell that if you're going to be for us, if you're my type of woman or not. And just off appearance, like, I could look at a chick 20 from 20 yards away and tell if she's going to be for me or not, just off of her appearance. And if she's not for me, then we're going to automatically disregard her. Like, she's from that point, she's going to be invisible. So we could be right there in front of your face, right there in your vicinity, but we're not looking or checking for you because your parents had already disqualified you. A woman's appearance is pretty much 50%, 50 to 60% of the decision of what type of decision that man is going to make in regards if he's going to speak to her or not, if he's going to approach her or not. Everybody know we're visual creatures, and that's going to play a huge role. Like, you know how many, like, say for example, when I'm going to a club, like when I'm going out and I'm going to the club, whatever, and say for example, if I'm downtown Dallas, y'all know if you've been to downtown Dallas, or if you know how downtown Dallas is, it's spread out. You can walk pretty good distances and go from club to club, place, establishment to establishment, and people are all around. And like, I'm seeing women all around just by just by me walking, and it's like I'm pretty much excluding women just within the eye shot of me that's in my vision of who I feel like is attractive or not. And then once we see that person, if she's not really attractive, it's like, okay, she's not attractive. It's like we're looking past you. It's like you're no longer visible to us. And yeah, that's a huge thing. That's how men operate. That's pretty much how we operate. We exclude you, disregard you just off appearance alone. And I was going to say something else. I kind of forgot the train of thought, but so let me let this ride to see what she says so I can pick it back up.
And if you don't like who's approaching you, then you have to level up in some way. So for me, I knew when I was out there in the dating market, I could afford to lose weight. I need to make sure I take care of myself. I'm on dating apps, which is what I did because I hated going outside. But I had to make sure that I, had something to wear that was attractive. I had to make sure my profile looked good. I couldn't be a Debbie Downer talking about what I won't do. There are a lot of things that we can do to push people away without realizing it. And so that's probably the biggest thing I want women to know is you are an active participant in what happens to you. But a lot of times there's this victim mindset. It's all because of men. No, you can get different results if you change your attitude,
Hello, everyone. I have something very important to share with all of you regarding cancer. Cancer is among
your posture, your weight. There's a lot of things that can take effect.
What are some of the?
But yeah, she's absolutely right. The attitude, that's like the second most important thing. If your attitude, once you do pass the eye test in regards to being, us being sexually and physically attracted to you, once you pass that test, the next test is the attitude test, the personality / attitude test. And if that attitude is shitty, then you already know you're gonna get disqualified. And that seems to be the major problem. One of the major problems with women, especially black women, is the attitude. I mean, we all know by now, we've seen enough videos to know it seems like black women have an automatic nasty attitude towards black men because of just past history, what's been going on, what's been said between, women and their friends, and how they think men are not trash. And they, most majority of them have only been messing with Pookies and Ray Rays their whole life. So to them, in their opinion, all men are trash because they only attract trash men. But the attitude plays a very huge important role, and the majority of black women have nasty attitudes these days. But lo and behold, don't let a white dude come around, then that attitude does a whole 180. You know what I'm saying? It does a whole 180 degree change. And it's crazy how they'll put on their best face, they will put their best foot forward once a white man is in their presence, but automatically gets disgruntled in a very nasty attitude once a black man comes into their presence. Let's continue.
Because you said women have a lot of delusions when it comes to dating. Did you name some of those? Were those some of the delusions that you were talking about? Like, you know, she makes 100, he makes 80. Me, I would see that as potential, because if he makes 80 and I come together, we make 180, and then I'm gonna help him to bring that up, and then we're gonna bring it up, and then for you know, we're on the same level. And then if we happen to get divorced, it's only a $20,000 difference that we came in. You gotta kind of weigh it that way. That's how I think.
And your living expenses, you know, like, so your living expenses are going to be cut in half. You're not, I mean, I don't think you're going to live 2 houses forever. So a lot of times women will say, oh, I'm used to this lifestyle. I'm used to traveling and da, 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 da. It's one thing for you to pay for a $200 bag, $400 bag. It's one thing for you to afford a $1,000 trip. It's another for a man to have to pay for his lifestyle, plus 2 people traveling, 2 people having expenses. And a lot of times there's this mindset that I want to, you know, have the money that I'm making and be balling out of control, but it's my money. His money is our money. It's an unrealistic understanding of finances. My ex-husband.
You're saying women actually think that way?
Oh, I hear it all the time. I had a woman say she wanted to divorce her husband because she felt like he wasn't as much of a hustler as she was. They had children together. He was a good husband, but she's just like, I just want someone that's like more of a go-getter.
So she want a trick. She want a trick.
Sip my water.
That's what it sounds like. She wants somebody to pay for services.
Yeah. Or they don't understand what men want. So it's what I call the princess mentality, where it's imagine.
They understand what men want. They just don't give a fuck. They only care about themselves. Modern women only care about themselves and what they can get out of the situation. They know what we want. We've been asking it for the longest time, but they don't care. They're just trying to get what they can possibly get out of the situation and damn everything else. Let's go.
And you know, some princess sitting on a throne somewhere with the big court, and the court jester comes in and she's like, perform for me, court gesture. That is kind of the attitude that a lot of women have. I'm fabulous, which you should think you're fabulous. I have this to offer, blah, blah, blah. But your attitude shouldn't be one of entitlement. Like, come perform for me. You know, let's see if I'm entertained. And a lot of men are waking up. We are having these podcasts and we're having conversations, and men are understanding their worth and knowing I'm more than my wallet. And so they're having these attitudes, you know, going on dates or just sitting on their phone. You know, I don't know if you've heard this, but men have told me horror stories over and over again that women are asking to go to restaurants that sometimes they can't even afford. It's just, hey, this is an opportunity to get a free meal. But 2, asking for men to pay for food for their children.
Let me speak on that. But before I get to that, let me back it up to what she was talking about, the traveling. Look, I grew up a military brat, and I've been around the world while I was a military brat, you know, under my parents. And then even when I moved out from out the home, I did a lot of traveling. I've been all over the world. I've been to approximately 10 different countries. And let me tell you, when I've traveled, you rarely see, because Black women are always screaming about how they love to travel. I love to travel, I love to travel. But y'all not traveling like that. When y'all do travel, y'all do it in a very broke way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. When I see Black women traveling, you know, catching flights and everything, going to whatever their destinations is, rarely do I see a chick who's looking like she's classy, like she got bread like that, and that, you know, like she about to go have on a real true vacation, have some fun. The chicks I be seeing traveling, the few Black women that I be seeing traveling, they're looking all very immaturish. They dress very, very kiddish, very teenagerish. They either got on, you know, leggings, bonnets on their head. They rocking Crocs in the airport. Like it seems like it's always the lowest value of the Black woman who's traveling when they're traveling without any men. The Black women who I do see traveling with men, those are the ones that you see are pretty much a step up as far as class, as far as how they dress and present themselves. It's the ones that I see that's actually traveling with Black men they always appear to be more classier than the single Black woman who's traveling with either by herself or with her friends. And like, yeah, it's like complete night and day between the two, between a single woman and the woman who's actually in the airport with the man traveling together. It's like night and day. These chicks claiming that they travel and they love to travel, man. Trust me when I say they just making it. Like you could tell they broke just by looking at them. It's like, well, you traveling, where you going? You definitely going on vacation looking dressed like that, because I can tell just by looking at your parents that you really ain't holding no bread, so you ain't going on no vacation. So as you getting flown out just for the night, for the weekend, for 2 days, are you going to see a family member? Did they fly you out? Did they spend some money on your ticket? Because I don't come across many women who look like they're fully, totally independent like that, getting that money, getting that bag as they claim, because if they were, the appearance would merit that, and it just does not. And I've traveled so much. I have a free ticket sitting, a free trip that's just sitting and waiting with Northwestern Airlines, because I accumulated over 200,000 freaking flying mileage, and it's been sitting there for like, I don't know, 6-7 years. I don't know. It's been a while. I literally done so much flying, been around the world so much that I don't ever want to see a plane in my life. Now I know that's not going to happen, because I know women love to travel and they love to take vacations. So I'm not going to stop traveling and taking flights. But that's how much I travel. Like I travel so much that I don't even want to take another flight. But that's near nor here nor there. Now she also said something about, what was it? So hold up, what she said?
I have had.
Oh yeah. Look, man. If you take a chick out on a date and she brings her kids to the date, on a date with her, and expects you to pay for the kids' meal, look, dog, she doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect you, and she just sees you as a trick. Like that's never happened to me. And the reason why something like that has never happened to me is because the energy and vibe I give off to women, like, pretty much lets them know what I would take and what I'm not going to take. And yeah, I mean, and women know, they instinctively know that that's a no. Like, for a woman to bring her kids out on a first date where they're just meeting a man, like, she doesn't have no respect for you. She thinks you're a simp, or there was some type of vibe that you gave off to let her know that she can pretty much get over on you. This has never happened to me before, because I don't give off a vibe to women that I'm a dude that's easy to get over. You know what I'm saying? So if that's happened to you fellas, y'all got to take a look in the mirror and take a look at yourself and see, what was it about you that made that woman want to try you like that? I've never been tried like that. I wish a bitch would try me like that. Let's roll footage.
Multiple men say that the women have said, I need to pay for childcare. It's expensive getting childcare. If you want to take me out. Oh, and also this hair ain't free, these nails ain't free, and my makeup is not cheap, and my outfit. So I need you to run me about. So, like, I have heard crazy stories, but if you go,
and then she's real. I actually knew a chick who used to do that. This chick used to do that. She used to run dudes' pockets, but it was only white men, because she can get over white men, because she knew she couldn't get over a black man. But she used to charge, and she used to get money from them to pay the babysitter, even though she wasn't paying babysitter. Her mother would watch the child. So she was getting money for that, putting it in her pocket, getting money for saying that she got to get her hair done. The same shit she was saying, hair done, hair done, and nails done. And they just pretty much, try to pocket as much as that money as they can. And again, if a chick is telling you this, and she's saying that you got to pay for my babysitter to take me on a date, you got to pay to get my hair done, my nails done, again, she doesn't respect you. And is something about you that gave off that you a simp, or that pretty much that you are lacking in the getting women department. So they feel that they can get over, and they're going to try this on you. But real niggas, real men, they're not going to try that on real men, because they know we're not going for it, especially if they know we got options. That's the thing. Like, if you're a dude, you fell into this type of trap, again, you gotta look in the mirror. There's something about you that gave off some type of vibe or some type of energy to let the woman know that she may be able to get over on you. Let's go.
On social media and you see some of these dating coaches, they're going to, I just saw one, I DM it to you, when we're done. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, the advice. And these women are following them in droves, and they're taking this empowerment and I'm great, and they're twisting it. Because you are awesome. You should know that you are the best version of you, and any man is going to be lucky to have you. But you should also say, but how can I grow?
I took my early bird at 5 a.m. I didn't want to go back to bed. I didn't want to snooze.
This stuff was an instant.
I'm sure there are areas that I can, improve upon. That's
just, and you know what? That's why I asked you to come on the show, because they feel like I'm heavily disconnected from the dating scene out here because I've been married 20 years, right? And I'm still married and very happily married. So they're like, Tasha, you don't know what it's like out here. You don't see what's going on. So I'm like, okay, I got you, hoes. And so I went and got you, right? So I'm like, because I saw you spend some real shit on your page. And I'm like, okay. And then they feel like I be pandering to black men or pandering to men in general. I'm a woman from the South, okay? And women from the South are raised very different from women elsewhere, okay? We are raised to, you know, you get out of school, you go handle your business, but you ought to have kids and get a husband that you can build with and grow with and serve your family for the rest of your life. Now, I do all of that and I still have a career. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can stop, just like I was doing a podcast out in California, right? And for a very big comedian, just to give you an example of how I have to do things, my husband, everybody came out and started eating. We had a little break. And then one of the people wanted to talk to me because they were a fan of the show. And so I'm like, well, give me a second. I got to go fix my husband a plate.
That part.
And you should have saw their face like, I mean, but it's right there. I said, but I'll be right back. I'm going to fix my husband a plate and we'll continue this. Like I said something foreign. I'm like, I am a Southern woman. Like
you had no.
I mean, well, the word husband is foreign to most of these hoes. I mean, 1 in 4 black women are married, so that's 25%. So yeah, the word husband is pretty much foreign to most of these women, and that's why they get triggered by just hearing that word, because they know they don't have one, and they know Tasha K is in a marriage that she's been married over 20 years, and that both parties do for each other. Single women, single black women, they don't have that. They don't, like, trust me, bro. Like, every woman, not just black women, but every woman on earth knows this. They just trying to make it seem like they don't know this, or they don't want you to think that they know this or feel this. Every woman knows that if she can't get a man to take her seriously and wanting to financially provide for her and protect her, then there must be something wrong with her. There must be something ultimately wrong with her as to why he doesn't want to do that. Why? Because they see women around them who do have that. There are women around them who are married. The man is taking the woman, his wife, seriously enough, which is why he married her, and has no problem and is wanting to financially provide for them. When a woman sees that, it triggers her, and they start to get a little bit jealous and maybe mad because they know they don't have that. So they're asking themselves, how the hell did she get that? How the hell did she get this man to do all this for her and yada, yada, yada? And I can't get Jermaine back at home to even fucking take the trash out. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course they're going to be jealous. Of course they're going to get triggered. They're looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, why can I get this done? Why can I accomplish what she's accomplished? What am I doing wrong that I haven't noticed as to why I'm not able to attract the men of the quality that I want and get him to pretty much, pay for my life, financially support me in every way possible. Every woman deep down instinctively, I can't even say it. Every woman deep down knows this, which is why we get what we get today, far as once they hear the word, once another woman's talking about, catering to their husband, whether it's, fixing him a plate of food, which is not even really catering to, but I mean, whatever, it's neither here or there, but that's why they get triggered and then want to give that person who is, speaking like that backlash because they don't have it. They're jealous. That's all it is. There's no woman on earth, there's not a single woman on earth who wants to go at life alone, all by themselves, and pay all the bills totally by themselves. Not a single one. It's just they can't attract the man that they desire and wanting to do that and provide that for them. Let's go.
Like those values, and my husband likes those values, but he gives me something that Southern women love: security, chivalry. All those things. I don't have to open up car doors. I don't have to pay I don't have to pay bills. But here's the thing. If I don't pay bills, I have to live on a budget.
Hello.
But you can live the way you want to live, but you're just going to live within our means.
Yes, but see, other women would say, no, you should just work harder, babe. I want that bag. I want that car. I want it. And they would just say, work harder. You're going, I want something. How do I supplement that? How do I meet him? There's something with me and my guy. I like to go, helpmate, helpmate. We are supposed to help each other. And I think a lot of times there is this, idea that it is demeaning to serve your partner, but both people should be serving. I love to wait hand and foot on my guy. Literally, if I come and I cook for him, he has a rule. His butt is not allowed to get from the chair. If he needs something, he shouldn't need seasoning, but if he needs, some salt, or he needs a napkin or whatever, I am there to serve him. Because when the roles are reversed in some other area, I feel absolutely catered to. If he has to walk far or go get the car, we're going to go, there are so many ways it's reciprocated. And not just with women, but with people, period. They tend to have a one-track view of things. They only see when something is not serving them. They don't see all the times that someone is serving them back. So I look at it like, if you don't have to work, that is a luxury that people just really take for granted. It's a difference if you're working because you love it and you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. There is a difference between, if I don't get numbers on this video, I might not be able to pay my mortgage. That's a scary feeling. So, we can't undervalue what men are doing. And the pandering thing, luckily I don't get it a ton. But to me, the difference between a panderer and somebody like you, from what you're describing, as someone like me, is we believe in the truth.
Stop being nice to girls.
One second, y'all.
Here's the thing. Being nice isn't attractive.
And we're not going to censor ourselves to make women feel good. We're going to say the truth, whether it's chastising women, or we're going to say the truth, whether it's chastising men. And some people, they make a living just saying what makes people feel good. But at the end of the day, the legacy that I want to leave is people who have richer relationships, better connections, long-lasting relationships. Because having been in an unsuccessful relationship, it physically affected me. I mean, I could go into detail. I've done it on my show, but it weighed on me. I started having panic attacks. I hyperventilate. It was crazy. Clinical depression. I believe in this stuff. And so if I tell you a bunch of stuff, sell you things that you don't need, and you're not happy at the end of the day, I have not served you at all.
She said that one thing she does not do, or one day that she does, she just simply tells women the truth. I want y'all to keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep that in mind myself as this video goes along, because I have a feeling that that's going to come back to haunt her, simply because we know how women operate. Yeah, she's going on the lines of wanting to tell women the truth, but they don't really tell women the hardcore, harsh truth. That harsh truth, that pill, pretty much that pill that's hard to swallow. And so far, she hasn't really gone into it. I don't think she's going to go into it. And it's pretty much involving with single mothers, pretty much. I'm still gonna let this video play. I'm gonna save it for the end to see if she brings it up. But yeah, it's like whenever it comes to the single mothers and what men generally think about your average single mothers and the value of them, she's never. I highly doubt that she's going to go deep and hardcore about that, giving the women the honest to God truth, because she knows she will not only break their hearts, but then they will stop coming back to her. I mean, women, they scream and say they want truth until that truth is, too hard for them to handle. But let's go.
This should be stuff that kids can pass on for generation to generation, because healthy relationships are amazing. It's awesome. I want everyone to experience it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna start interviewing some of these hoes that do, meet men and they get to keep their money, and then the men buy them everything. But what do they get in return from the man? Not all of his time. They're sharing his time. STDs. It's not a conversation. Well, he doesn't have to tell you what he's doing because he's paying for you. But and I'm a total believer. Like when my husband and I, when I met him, yes, we met at work, and then I got pregnant, and then I stayed home. That was back in 2006, right? 2005 or whatever. But what we did, right, is I flipped it. When I started working, I was like, baby, how about we do this? We would live off my income because I made the less amount of money, and we stack yours.
Yes.
So we had.
Hold on. That's funny as hell. She said she like Tasha K said she made less money than her husband, but she came up with the bright idea of how about we spend my money and we just stack yours. Yo, man, that is not going over well with any black woman today. Any black woman. Tell a chick, look. I'm trying to picture on how that conversation was go. Look, baby, you know what I'm saying? Stuff getting a little tight around here right now and everything. We need to, tighten up our bootstraps and shit. How about this? Let's being that you make less than I do, let's go ahead. Let's use your money, your checks for all the bills, food, and everything that we need to pretty much, keep our livelihood afloat. And being that I make more than you, we're going to save up my paychecks so that when the time comes or when anything down the line in the future, when we really need to make a big move or do something, we'll have the money in the bank already, willing and waiting for us to do it simply because we saved up my check and we spent yours. Like, Tasha, come on, Tasha. You know better than that. You know these hoes ain't going to go for that. These hoes ain't going to go for that because they immediately think, these chicks these days, they immediately think, oh, you ain't finna spend up all my money. We ain't finna use up all money so you can save yours and peace out on me. That's how they think, especially if they know they just average, fat, and ugly. Like, that's not, man, it's 2023, man. I don't see any woman agreeing to that. I don't see any black woman agreeing to what Tasha K just said, but let's spin this block.
Had more money to play with because we didn't live above our means. I worked 2-3 days a week and I was a server. So that would be $600 a week, $200 a shift. Sometimes I would work a double depending on that. He would watch the baby when I worked those 3 days. Then when he went to work the 4 days, right? I would watch the baby. And when his income came in, we saved so much more and lived off of my income. So if anything were to happen to him or get sick, we got savings, right? And I'm able to pay the bills just off of me, because you have to understand life gets in the way. You never know if something's going to happen to either partner. But what if something happens to your partner and you have...
Call your doorbell camera company and cancel the subscription. This brand new subscription-free mini Wi-Fi.
Right. Okay. You have this astronomical lifestyle that's over the top. How are you going to survive? And I'm seeing it happen amongst one of the ex-housewives, Kim and Croy. So Croy was the breadwinner. Right. So was Kim. But when Kim lost her gig, Croy, they was living off too, right? Yeah.
I followed that show for years. I didn't know she lost her gig. Give me the tea, girl.
Well, we do. We do. So she lost her gig. His football pension is only so much. Guess what? Their lifestyles, they got behind on bills. And she was like, well, you're the man. You should be able to pay. So now they're behind on taxes, behind on the mortgage, getting ready to lose their house, fighting, selling valuables. She's refusing to help. Oh, it's a shit show, because it's like you did not prepare for the worst. You see,
they have a lot of kids.
And a lot of people are wanting these relationships, but it's like, but you have to understand, like, do you have that 6 months to a year or even 2 years savings in case somebody gets sick? You know,
there's a guy.
And that's a woman's nature, dog. Like what she just said, that happened to me. And like, honestly, now that is done and over with, and fast forward to the future, I'm actually grateful and happy about it. So here's the situation. What Tasha K just pretty much said and explained is that women will always expect the man to be a man and pay all or the majority bulk of the bills. However, if there's a situation where that man loses his job or whatever, to where, the money stopped coming in, which is, mainly losing his job, or if he owns a business, that business goes out of business, they don't care. They're not going to have our backs. They're not going to have our backs. They're still going to expect us to man up, do what we got to do, go out there, get another job, and still continue to, do what we've been doing. So, like, again, I've said this in a few of my videos, so y'all can get it pretty much a clear understanding of how I found the red pill. It's because it's going to be real clear. I'll make it real simple. I was once married, now divorced. Me and my ex-wife got married. Known her for a long time. Met her in college, freshman year of college. pretty much I know the woman that I married. She came from a good dual parent household, just like she understood, the values of, kids growing up in a dual parent household and everything like that. At least that I thought. So now we were married. I had a nice job. I was working in the corporate world, and I ended up quitting that job due to what I felt was a racial discrimination matter. 8 months went by. I was not able to get a job back making the same amount of money that I was before I left that job. And one day she just came to me and said, this is not going to work. I already knew what time it was. I already knew what it was about. I didn't put up no fuss, no fight, no argument. I simply told her, I said, look, if you think that I'm going to be jobless forever for the rest of my life or something like that, then you're hugely mistaken. Yeah, I'm going through a rough time right now and I'm not able to get a job as quickly and back on my feet right now, but it's not like I'm going to be, jobless forever. She heard that, she understood it, and she still chose to separate. She wanted to separate. So, before I left, I told her, I was like, well, being that you want to separate, once I do bounce back on my feet and, get into a better position than what I am today, don't expect me to come back, or don't expect us to repair this relationship, because if you can't be down for me now when we're pretty much, in the worst of it, trying to go through thick and thin, supposed to honor your vows, as far as for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, to death do us part, then yeah, I'm not coming back. I won't be able to trust you once I bounce back and get back on my feet, to know if you were going to pretty much make the same move and decision again to, want to walk away simply because times got financially hard. So we see this all the time with women. Women, they are not going to wait. They're not going to hold a man down. They're going to expect you to pick up by your bootstraps and get another job and continue what you've been doing, or they're simply going to leave and monkey branch on to the next dude who they see and think has, the financial capability to support them, in their livelihood. And it's as simple as that. I mean, the majority of relationships and marriages end because of financial. And this is not new. We know this since the beginning of time, pretty much. This is not new. And yeah, this is what it is. It's just that men need to know that, dog, once you whatever your livelihood is, however it is that you get money, you better keep it and work it to your best of your ability, because if you were to lose that or lose some type of employment, trust me, that clock starts ticking the moment you lose that job. You're on a time clock. And who knows what the time allowment is. It depends on whatever the woman feels like. If you don't get another job within a time period that she sees fit, it don't matter if you got kids with that bitch or not. She would take her and those kids that you fathered with her and will be so naive to leave that relationship and move on, go back out into the dating market and thinking that another man will be, just as serious as the father of her children, to take her seriously and wanting to financially support her and another nigga's kids. I know, it's absurd. It's very absurd. It's crazy, but this is how these bitches think. They think that they can just easily go back into the dating market with 3, 4, 5 kids, and that another random dude is going to think they're so special enough to take care of them and another dude's kids. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard. I know. Let's go.
I'm terrible with rappers, but I want to say it's Gates. I think his
Kevin
name is
Gates.
Yes. Oh, he did this interview talking about how he wanted to, go away permanently.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah.
Right, the pressure. I don't know what we could say on YouTube. So, but he just all the pressure, and a lot of guys feel like women say, I don't want to feel like I'm just a body. Men don't want to feel like they're just a wallet, but so many men feel like their value is what they can bring financially. And that is a stressful situation. I will tell myself, when I was married, my ex had all the things that they say, all the sixes, tall, had the money, all this stuff. And I had a princess mentality. My dad spoils me and everything. And so I had this mentality of just, okay, he's got it. And I wasn't a bad person. I just was so naive. And he was old school, where I'm not going to talk about anything. If there's ever any pressure, I just get it done. And in this time in my life, I want my partner to feel like I'm in the trenches with you. I don't want to be over here I just need this stuff. I need the reality. And I would rather have a very, very, very happy and successful relationship on a budget, like what you talked about, than flexing for, which usually is the Joneses, because at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't make you happy. I'd rather have that security. I believe you should always have 3 months of living expenses on reserve. You know, you should always have your stuff. I don't believe in credit cards except for getting points. And all of these things that we're talking about. I love my points. Just found one with 5% yesterday, and my guy was cracking up. He's like, "You're way too excited about that." But these are the things that being together, that's what relationships, I think, benefit. The sum is greater. What is it? The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. It's not about having this arm candy on your arm or be able to take pictures for the gram for the, pajama pictures. Like, those things are nice. But at the end of the day, you have a partner to build with, to lean on. God forbid you get sick. You need someone that's going to help you. So I just think that a lot of people are serving women poorly because they're painting it out to be not valuable. Like, they're acting like they don't need men at all.
Scientists have found that some men make a bathroom habit to grow by up to 52%. Are you afraid your tiny buddy?
As long as you have money, girl, you don't need a man. What is he gonna do for me? I can pay.
I was just talking to my sister about that today. Y'all ain't got no men, but y'all got dogs, and y'all buying babies out the sperm clinic.
I don't know about you, but I need a whole man. Like, I love the essence of a man. I love everything.
I love to be courted.
Yes,
I do.
And I love to be able to say,
and whatever I get myself into, he will make sure he finds a way to help get us out of it, and vice versa. I do the same thing. So, and he knows that if something were to happen to him, his kids are gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could lose all this tomorrow. My wife gonna know how to get it out the mud. Okay,
right?
And
if I could say this too, part of the problem is that you talked about my tagline, helping you vet men. One of the biggest things is that women don't know the signs of what to look for. So they will come out all big-eyed and excited and hopeful, hopeless romantic, and they'll pour into a guy who it's like the big bad wolf, he's got the horn, the fangs, and the fur, but Little Red Riding Hood didn't see it. And now she goes, that's how all men are. All men move dirty, all men. But if you know how to vet, and you only take time with guys who are eligible bachelors, because it's one thing if you date a guy, you're just not a good fit. It doesn't leave you with emotional scars and heartache and trauma. But if you manage to get a guy and you know how to treat him, oh my God, the softer side of Sears. Like, if you take a man and you get to pour into him and he lets his guard down and he's vulnerable, men are incredible. So when I hear women talking about men, I'm like, not the ones I encounter.
I done made some hard men very, very soft, and I like them like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the things?
We already know that when women talk about men ain't shit, it's because we know that they pretty much been dogged or either got the short end of the stick in the situation. Because, like, again, I did a video a couple weeks ago, and I said that I was doing a lot of clubbing at the time, and I was partying and clubbing with some beautiful, fine women, man. But they were between the ages. They were like anywhere between their mid to late 20s. A couple was in their early 30s, but they didn't. When we were partying, turning up in the club and everything like that, they didn't have a care in the world, bro. Like, what I'm saying? They have a care in the world. They were fine, sexy. Know they had it going on. Dudes was checking them out. Like, they was just the life of the party. Women women like that who's so full of life, you can tell that they still have not went down that road that far as a single mother has. Because what she's speaking of is primarily single mothers. Only single mothers feel like that after they've been left with the kid and pretty much, had the kid to try to trap a nigga or whatever the case. Most women chase dudes who have options because especially black women, they love men. We hear it all the time. They want a man with swag. They want a man with swag. They want a man who can dress. They want a man who can stand out. They're pretty much always going for the dude, the swaggiest dude, the dude who's, highly sexually attracted, that they are sexually attracted to. But we know that those men always have options, but they don't care. They still would rather, even though they know he has options and they know that she's just one of the people that's in a long list of females that he's dealing with, talking to, or trying to pursue him. They don't care because they're still all trying to vibe for that man and get his attention, because they feel that if they were to get him and tie him down, land him out, they feel like that she's the special one, that I was able to do that. knowing that all these other chicks were chasing him, but I'm the one that got him. You know what I'm saying? But they will never give that good dude who really, really, truly wants them and would value them and would treat them like a queen, but they won't give him a chance in hell because he's just too nice. Like we all know that black women, they don't like nice dudes. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They prefer the dude that's gonna dog them out, treat them like trash, and the whole 9 yards. Let's continue.
Things that women should look for when vetting. Like can you name some of those things? Especially now, because they say I don't know shit. So I say, okay, let me go get somebody who I hear. I got you.
Yeah, I would say look at how he talks about women. People like to say, oh, my social media isn't real life. Yes, it is, because you're a real person and you posted it. So if he's putting a ton of posts objectifying women, making demeaning jokes, there's always a little truth in jokes. I would look at that first. I would also look at how does he talk. I just did a video for my patrons, 11 signs he just wants the cheeks. But one of them is how disrespectful he is and casual with his tongue. So if he comes in off the top like, girl, you're looking good in that stripe, like, whoa, I'm sorry. I'm Tasha. You don't know me like that. That type of energy. But a lot of times women take it as flattery because media says you want to be sexy. You got to be sexy. You can't be big stars and things like that. And it's all about being sexy, sexy, sexy. You don't want to be sexy for a man. You want to be beautiful to a man. Because you want a man who looks at you and says, I want to take her home to mom, as opposed to taking her home to bed. And that's the biggest thing women don't realize is men will instantly, if you're cute.
When there's a mic,
you that on the nose. Hold on.
There's a mic.
Versus, man. God,
the world needs more mics.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. In my 15 years, Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company, I've helped.
And you get it.
But she hit that on the nose, and she's absolutely right. And you can tell that a man told her that, because women don't know this. They wouldn't know that unless we had to actually tell them that. Like, I come across women all the time. I come across sexy women, pretty women, beautiful women, and things of that nature. But when it comes between sexy and beautiful, I always deemed the sexy women who I felt was sexy. I just wanted to fuck them. That's pretty much all that was. You know what I'm saying? They would say like, damn, she's sexy as fuck. Meaning like, it's turning me on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm hot. She's turning me on. She can get this D right the fuck now. Beautiful women, yeah, those are chicks that took her home to mom. You know what I'm saying? Those are chicks that took her home to mom and dad. Like, beautiful women that's so beautiful and lovely in the face with the body to match. Yeah, we taking them home. We taking them home to mom, because the face is very important when trying to deem a woman if she's wifey marriage material. The face, if you ain't got a beautiful face, more than likely you ain't gonna get no ring. You know what I'm saying? And she was absolutely 100 about that. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, a man definitely told her that. Either a man or some men definitely told her that, and it hit home, and she knows it's true because she's heard that on more than one occasion. Let's spin this block.
The physical reaction out of him, he's putting you in one of two categories. And you don't normally have a category when he first sees you. It's once you open your mouth, or he sees the way you're dressing, or he goes to your social media profile, every picture is taken from behind, and women say, well, he shouldn't objectify me. I work hard for my body. I want to show it off. That's fine. I could also say I wish gravity didn't work, but it is what it is. Men will say what category to put you in based on how you present yourself. And so if that guy is coming to you and he's like, oh, girl, you looking, I bet I could, you correct him immediately, he actually might go from thinking she was just a booty call to, I'm gonna take her seriously. Some guys. Other guys will just excuse themselves. And so what happens is that guy who came at you sideways and you quickly checked him like, sir, you don't know me like that. Watch your hands. Now, all of a sudden, he's ghosting you. If you're an insecure person or you don't understand dynamics, you're heartbroken going, oh my God. What?
Yeah, that's true. But it still mainly depends on how you're dressed when he sees you. If a chick, like if I talk slick to a chick, like, oh my God, you still said you got a fat ass and something like that. If I'm coming slick out the mouth to a chick, and she's dressed scantily clad, and she turns around and checks me, I'm still gonna think what I'm thinking, because the way that you dress is, you know what I'm saying? Because if you dress all scantily clad with the ratchet stuff, I'm still gonna think the way I'm thinking. Just because you check me, it's not gonna change my way of thinking it's not gonna have me thinking, oh, she must be a stand-up woman. She must not be like that because she, as soon as I came out my mouth sideways, she checked me. No, it has a lot to do how you're dressed. And majority of Black women today, especially when we go out, they want to dress like they pretty much have nothing on. So if you out there dressing like that, dude's gonna treat you how they, how they see how that you're portraying yourself. And that's it in a nutshell. That shouldn't have to go without saying. Let's go.
Happen, as opposed to dodge the bullet. And I want my women to know there are some you want to exit stage right. You want them to excuse themselves and show. Let me see if I give you a couple more. You want to look at consistency. That is the number one thing men cannot fake. They cannot fake consistency. They can send you some dry little text, WYD, what you doing? A little acronym, not gonna spell it out. They could send you a little dry text every now and then. But if he's doing that at booty call hours, that is a red flag. So you don't hear from this man all day long. All of a sudden at 10, 11, you up? You up? Not hi, how are you? This is real stuff, girl. You lucky you out of here. Okay? You up? What's good?
I ain't trying to get back out there either, so I make sure I pour into my marriage. I ain't trying to get back out there. Y'all can have that shit. Look.
You don't want none of that. You don't want none of that. Even a hazmat suit. So they'll do that. So what they're doing is they'll send it out to all women in their phone. And then you get some little girl who didn't, have someone teach her better. She be like, hi, hey, big head. And then, you want to Netflix and chill. The next thing you know, she's over there. He's pressuring her for intimacy. And now she's like, I think we go together because we hooked. No, girl, you were just his Tuesday night special. So.
And it's funny how she put it that he wants to pressure her for intimacy. Look, man, it's 2023. Like half of the next Netflix and chill dates that I had, man, look, these hoes is aggressive. If they want the dick, they gonna let you know that they want the dick. Like it was half and half. I didn't pressure these chicks and then trying to get sex. Half the time they was in a rush and trying to whip my dick out and suck it. That's what I'm saying. Man, look, that's the one thing I hate about some of these dating coaches. It's like they always paint the picture as if the man is always pursuing the woman. I'm here to tell y'all, women pursue dudes too. Like, and it's not rare. They pursue dudes a lot. Like, women pursue dudes a lot. Here's how it is. Like, dudes that know that they are the shit and got their shit together and know they have something to offer. Like, women, hear me. Here's what we do. We don't really chase y'all like that. Of course, what we do is, this is what we do. Perfect example. We'll go ahead and throw some bait out into the ocean, into the sea, and then we're just gonna fall back and chill and see and just check out what comes reeling back in. Because we ain't got to do much, especially if you something to look at. If you something to look at and you papered up, man, please, you luck, bitch. You would just get a smile. I'm just gonna smile because I'm confident. I'm confident enough in myself, and I know that the way that I'm dressed, my swag is on 1,000. All I gotta do is look at you and smile, and you're gonna check me out from head to toe, and you already gonna be computing in your brain like within a millisecond. Like, damn, that's that nigga. A woman, when a woman can tell, a woman can look at a man and instantly tell if he's that nigga or not. All women can. That's how you think. Like, so for example, if you're in a club, let's say if you're in a club and the chick is dancing, right? And you go up behind her, you're trying to get on her ass and dance on the ass. You know how that woman, she'll look back and just take a quick glance at you real quick to see if she's gonna let you continue dancing or she's gonna carry your ass. And if she continue dancing, then you that nigga. And she fucking look back and she all of a sudden just hop off or she move away, then you about to get clowned by her and her friends. Like, what I'm saying? That's in a nutshell. But yeah, that's how women pursue dudes, dog. Women pursue dudes, and they do it more than what these women are capping online to be. They're trying to act like they don't chase man, they don't do this, and that for dude. The women would do the most for a dude if she's feeling him like that. That's the honest to God fact. I can't tell you how many women will go over and beyond if they know that you're meeting pretty much all of their standards that they have in the man that they want. They're going over and beyond the duty. Let's go.
If he's only contacting you during booty call hours, he's not contacting you consistently. And if he is contacting you consistently, is he actually trying to get to know you? Is he keeping it, surface level? Oh, the game. Oh, I saw this thing on social media. Or is he talking about your childhood? What are some of the things that went wrong in your last relationship? What do you want from a partner?
Opening up to you?
Yeah, because if you think about it, a guy who genuinely likes you, all he knows is that you're cute. It takes conversation to know if you're actually worth it to him. He should be vetting you. So if he's not vetting you, there's a reason.
Oh shit! So like you're doing the vetting, he's supposed to be vetting you too. Like, okay, so if he's not doing no vetting, then he's just not that into you.
Yeah, and I have walked away from guys like that. I'm like, we can talk for 2 weeks.
I'm obsessed with oil perfumeries do.
And he's getting on my nerves, but again, she's absolutely correct. Dude is vetting you. If you're talking to a dude, if y'all talking to, on a platonic level, trying to get to know each other, to figure out, what type of box you're gonna put him in, or if it's just gonna be a jump off box, relationship box, or whatever. If the dude is not going deep into, pretty much vetting you, which means, asking you several questions and pretty much trying to get deep into what you like, what you think, how you are, your character and personality, then he's just looking for one thing, and that's sex. That means he don't care about, anything else. You know what I'm saying? If he's not vetting you that way, then you already know where you stand. He's just looking at you for sex, and that's just pretty much it. And quite frankly, these days, lots of women, that's what they're looking for too. I mean, not every woman out here is not looking for marriage. Not every single woman is out here looking to be in a relationship, although it does seem like it's, the majority of them are. However, I deal with a lot of chicks, and I even got 2 on my roster right now who they don't want to be in a relationship either. And that's why I like them, and it's cool because we both on the same page. I don't want to be in a relationship, and they don't want to be in a relationship. They got their shit together going on. One has a PhD, one has a master's, and they live in, very good lives. And they're still in that stage. They're both, one is in her early 30s, one is in mid 30s. But yeah, they're still in a stage where they don't really want to be tied down like that. And they, stated this to me on numerous occasions. And I always tell them, like, you ain't got to keep telling me that. You ain't gonna have a problem over here. I'm not the nigga. I'm not gonna try to tie you down. I'm not gonna try to tie you down. I'm not gonna try to hold you up. None of that, because the same way you feel, it's the exact same way that I feel. I want my space. I'm loving my space right now. I'm just loving the single bachelorhood life. Like, as of right now, it may change somewhere way down along the line, but as of right now, ain't nothing better than having a roster, dog. Let's continue.
Nary a thing about me, like a thing about me. But I got, the booty, I got, you don't know anything deep. So that's a huge, huge giveaway. And a lot of the stuff that I give, I like to give in my private classes only because I never want it to fall into the wrong hands, and men be like, oh, well, let me part to me. So I'm trying to keep it slightly vague for your viewers, but it is something that's hard to fake the funk. And men will say, well, if he wants the cheeks, he could still fake this. When you really know what to look for, there's a depth to it that you can't fake. So like I said, like the level of communication. So she might say, well, he hits me up every day. Is it during booty call hours? Is it simple text? A man who really likes you is going to want to hear your voice, because as women, we don't provide things. We provide experiences. Men pay for things. We give our essence. So they can experience you through a text message, but they can hear you giggling on the phone and, laughing at his jokes and, being shy. They can hear that through the phone, and even more, they want to see it in person. So he's going to be wanting to talk to you daily. And the other thing is, he's going to want to tie you up during booty call hours, and that sounded terribly wrong. He's going to want to tie up your time during booty call hours. So my guy, when we were getting to know each other, we started long distance. Please believe we were on the phone between the hours of 7 and 10. Like, he clogged up my phone. Like, nobody was getting through. He made sure my attention was on him. And if a guy is just leaving your let me clarify. There's cupcake hours and there's booty call hours. So cupcake hours, a guy who's serious about you is gonna be in your face. Booty call hours, he will be letting you sleep because he knows you're a woman with business and you have to tend to. So from like 7 to 9, I was talking to my girls the cupcake hours. So you want a guy to be in your face, whether it's in person or on the phone during that time, because he knows that's the time when you're winding down, you're getting ready for bed, and this is the time a guy could slip in and capture your heart. So during the day, he knows you're going about your day, text you, whatever. But at night, hey girl, you free? And that's what you said, old school, sitting on the phone, twisting the phone cord, like,
well, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, she's right. She's so far so good. She hitting that on point. If a dude is really into you, really interested in you, he's gonna want to talk to you on the phone, spend some time, get to know you a little bit more, hear your voice. Just like if he's really, really feeling you into you like that, he would definitely do all of what she just stated. That's no cap. She's telling the absolute truth. Let's go.
And I'm doing. You want to slide through? I gotta come to you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. No. Okay. So.
Get away and come together and drink wolf water.
It's pissing me off.
I'm sure that dating advice is for a specific age group. But what about when the women are in their 50s and 60s and 70s and want to date? What is your advice for them? How do they vet somebody that's 70? The fuck?
It should be no advice. You done.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. They're still looking for the same things, but I hate to say this, you have to be slightly more flexible. So there are 3 categories when you are going through what you want in a guy. You have your absolute deal breakers, which is like, I'd rather be single than. Like, I'm not getting with someone who's on the predator list. It's deal breakers. And then the preferences. Like, I would like to have this or that. And then you have I absolutely must have this. So he doesn't have any things that are bad, on the bad list, but he also doesn't have this. And I'm going to make a joke and say he doesn't have teeth. I always make jokes about side teeth.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's okay. No, you're good.
So, so you want to go through that list. So what I would say is the things that should be flexible are your preferences, not your deal breakers and not your must-haves. So you could say he must have a relationship with God. He cannot have, I'll give you a perfect example. Your preference might be, I don't want someone with baby mama because, I don't want baby mama drama. When you start to get older, you go, a lot of men and kids. Maybe you need a little more flexible on that. Or maybe the woman says, I only want one baby mama. But now you're
Man, look, she said a lot of men have kids. Well, it's already been statistically proven that black women have way more kids than black men. 54% of all black men 18 and up don't even have children, versus over 80% of all black women have kids. And out of that 80%, over 60% of them got kids by multiple dudes. Let me repeat that. About 54% of all black men 18 and up don't even have children, versus over 80% of all black women have kids. And of that 80%, over 60% have kids by multiple dudes. That means out of that 80%, more than half of all black women got kids by multiple men. But yet she had enough to sit up here and say, "Oh, the guy may have, a lot of kids." And she's saying this coming from the mentality of possibly of an older woman, because they're talking about 50, 60, and 70 years old now. So now you remember in the beginning of this video where I said that she says that she doesn't want to cap to women. She wants to give them, they don't lie to women. She wants to give them the truth. And I said that I feel like that's going to be that they may give them the truth, but they're not going to give them the honest, hardcore truth. Well, here's where that statement wraps right back around here, because again, she's talking about 50, 60, and 70-year-old women. Look, dog, 70-year-old women, ain't nobody checking for no 70-year-old bitch. Ain't nobody looking for no 70-year-old woman. I don't care if I was 70 myself. I'm not looking to be with no 70-year-old chick. 60 years old, 50 years old either. Like, I mean, 50, it's like you're holding on to the last bit of thread of that lifeline that's dangling from the goddamn top, about to fall into the ocean, about to fall. You're it's like you're treading thin ice if you think you're going to be 50 years old and still wanting to get the man that you feel that you qualify for. Again, key words, that you feel that you qualify for. Personally speaking, once you get above 50, bro, it's like you shouldn't even have any standards. Honestly, like y'all old. no dude is really trying to check and date no old hags like that. Y'all bodies be sagging, y'all face be wrinkly, arms and elbows be wrinkly. It's everything starts to fall apart. Once you hit over 44 women, stuff starts to fall apart. And then the more you age, the quicker it starts to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Like men are attracted to beauty, which usually lies in the youth of a woman. We're not checking for the old chick. So she's going around. So this chick is going around the tables and trying to, I guess, give her explanations of what she tells the old women who are still in the dating market. It's like, man, look, if you're over 50, well, especially if you're over 60 in the dating market, you must just hang it up. Like what happened? Like, how did you miss your calling? Like you done. It's a wrap. It's over. You can't do nothing but just get some pets and die alone. There's no man who's on that type of level that all these women saying that they want. A dude who's making a lot of money, 6 figures, the 3, 6, and 6 pack, 6 figures, muscles, 6 feet 1 and all that. They're not looking for no old ass bitch who's wrinkled, old and gray and just aging like a banana. Like, what world are y'all living in? That's why I say I knew it was going to be a point that she was not really going to keep it all the way 100 with these hoes, because you can't. Yeah, a woman is not going to tell another woman, especially an older woman, that pretty much it's a wrap. It's not. You're not likely to get what you want, to obtain what you want, and that your time has passed. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Anybody that's 50, especially 60 and above, your time has passed, dog. You might as well just holding out hope for a relationship, especially marriage. Y'all must just get that up. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just not happening. Let's go.
Eliminating guys with 2 baby mama, and then maybe those kids are grown and you're not really interacting with the ex. So those types of things they can be flexible on. Or, I want to travel twice a year. Well, maybe his budget only allows 1 trip a year, and maybe you have to supplement with your, those are the types of things. But I see a lot of women who, they are not the kind of woman that can pull a ton of men, and they're being very, very, very selective. That is a scary thing. So at the end of the day, that's why I said you have to really choose what you value. My sense of humor. Do we get along? Are we great friends? And I'm not that person who says looks don't matter. They absolutely matter. Like, I attract to my person and I want them attracted to me. But at the same time, are you trying to get like a 10, 10, 10? I'm not telling you you got to squint a little bit and have a couple of shots to deal with him. But it should be someone who maybe isn't as swaggy, or maybe someone who doesn't have a sexy career, or those things, or maybe he has to fix up certain things. You've seen women who take their men and fix them up, like a good haircut.
Oh, they told me. Oh
man, if you're a woman over 50 years old and still trying to look for a dude with swag, then your priorities is fucked up, and you just lost. And and this shows me the image, how immature a woman who's 50 and above could be, that you're prioritizing swag in a man over anything else. Like, are you serious, bitch? You're 50. Like, you're 50. Like, just the word 50 alone, when men hear that, the word 50 alone is a turn off. 50, 60. And y'all prioritizing swag. Y'all need to be fucking in the house watching Young and the Restless, having if you do got a significant other, have him helping put that big game, rub it on your back, rub it on your knees. Y'all, man, look, a 50-year-old woman prioritizing swag for what? Yeah, anybody trying to be seen with y'all out in public? Bitch, you 50, old and wrinkled. The fuck is you talking about swag? Like, Lord have mercy, help us.
No, you didn't. I said that. I was like, what is wrong? When I met my husband, he used to wear high waters. I just told him, baby, can we get some pants that are longer?
Little direction.
You know what I'm saying? Can you put a beard in?
It's like a diamond in the rough. It's like people with talent.
It's no different than him saying, baby, you know what? Can you cut your hair off? Can you wear this as opposed to that? I'm like, what is wrong with that? Like, it's not like I'm having to go spend money on it, but like, I kind of built him into my man, right?
You have to. That's why Beyonce said,
okay, not to sway. I need to look like this. Okay. I'm like, my favorite part about a man is his arms. I'm like, baby, I got him some push-up thing. He doing push-ups, so his arms look nice. Now when he go out, you know, women everywhere like, oh wow, you look nice. I'm like, see, you know,
it's like the people who know how to find the fixer-upper on the street. All the neighbors are gonna be glad, right? Because you brought the property value. But if it has good bones and you're like, oh, it just needs a different lawn, get that lawn together, new window treatments, replace the roof, you're Gucci. But the people would have been crawling all over it had someone already done that. So you kind of get a deal. And the other thing is, if you have a guy who does not know that he's a 10, you don't have to deal with the oversized ego of the. Have you seen those guys now who?
I saw one last night. I was like,
in
wow.
the camera.
He wasn't in the camera. It was his.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got.
Oh.
He got a whole fight. There's this guy. I'm not gonna say his name or whatever, even though they probably would want me to. But he posts videos. He's a very, very attractive guy, but he posts videos in his boxers, and he allows his dick to get hard. And through his boxers, he's doing exercises or just things around the house, and it's like a whole nother leg. And it's like, and I'm like,
you got his Instagram and his Prince Instagram.
Yeah, and he's cleaning his own house. I'm like, why is he cleaning his own house? I mean, you obviously attractive. You look like you got a package to offer. So why are you cleaning your own house?
It's the need for attention. It's
the
funny.
Ego. It's the ego. Like,
it is. And they're always going to need that from other people. That's one thing. Like, I would never want someone who's like an influencer, or because sometimes those people need that attention for validation. Like if your sole purpose is just you're the package, not you're selling a product or service, it's just you. And you have to be sexy. But there was a post where it came up on my, suggested feed or whatever in my Explorer. And it was so cringy because in my mind, because I love creating and filming, I'm thinking about the actual shoot and how it looks. So I'm like, camera's propped up and you're giving all these like smoldering eyes, all this stuff. It's cringy. And then you're watching it. Women are, yes, this is so sexy. But then the other one woman said exactly what I thought. She said, there's something about a guy who's hot who doesn't quite know he is. I will take that guy any day than the guy who,
I got mine. Listen, I knew he was the one when he asked me what my favorite book was. And I was like, you read?
Right. Subject verb.
So hold on. So black men don't read, but black women read? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what type of niggas did y'all used to attract? Y'all act like black men don't read. We read a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, black women act like they just so above black men. Like, we just so down here. We don't do shit. All we know is Xbox, PlayStation, selling dope, and that we don't read. Man, please.
That's my thing. Subject.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that made me marry him was every morning when I woke up with him, or I didn't, and I was at home, he would call me and say, "Good morning. How did you sleep?" That had me, and he had on high waters.
Do you know that some women say they don't like a good morning text? Like, I've seen posts that are anti-good morning
he
text.
would not. We had phones that he would not text. He don't even text me good morning. He calls me to this day. Good morning. He woke up this morning. Good. He'll stand over the bed and he's got like his shirt off and he looking outside. He's like, "Good morning. How'd you sleep?" And I'm like, "Good." He still does that. It's like, that's it. That's all I need. I don't need much. Like,
I love it. And if you get it right, you can enjoy your relationship, because you see bitter people in the comment talking trash about their spouse or hating on marriage and all that. I'm like, why did you hate that person? Like, I want to be.
And it says more about you than it does about your spouse. Like when you dragging them like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing that I said. The women who get online and drag their baby daddy or stuff like that, talking about he ain't shit, he trash, and that ain't shit, he don't do this and that. It looks worse on you, because it's like, well, if that nigga ain't shit, then by default you not shit. Because niggas who are the shit and know they the shit, they don't get with bitches who ain't shit. That's just logical sense. Like, I'm not gonna get with a bitch if I know I got my shit together, got it going on. I'm not gonna get with a bitch who ain't shit. Meaning, I'm not gonna get with an ugly bitch. I'm not gonna get with a fat bitch. I'm not gonna get with a bitch who ain't got his shit together. Like, look, man. If you out here saying that your man ain't shit or your baby dad ain't shit, then I can guarantee you probably ain't shit and probably worse than him. Because niggas who are the shit don't get with ain't shit bitches. We just don't operate like that. Let's ride.
So I'm like, he ain't said shit about you, but you online going to fuck off. Are we projecting here? I had a friend like that, man. Every time I turn around, her husband, fine as fuck, right? Fine. Every time I turn around, it didn't matter. It could be new people, old people. She dragging him. And I had to tell her one day, I said, you know somebody gonna fuck your husband. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, girl, you always dragging him. You always, he works 2 jobs. You ain't got to work. Well, he needs to work harder. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, it's just, I'm being honest with you. There's going to be a woman that's going to show him appreciation and ain't going to cuss him out or talk bad about him. And somebody going to fuck your husband. Like, and it ain't no coming back from that. Well, if he do that, we done. I'm like, but you act like you don't want him. Like the way you talk bad about him. I'm like, that is a nice looking man there, honey. Like,
I have a series called
I'm pretty sure her man is fucking. I'm pretty sure her man has tiptoed out and fucking other bitches anyway. Because we men, it's like I'm the only one that's saying this. I mean, yeah, you have some dudes who are willing to be faithful. They may give their woman monogamy and everything like that. But from what I've seen in my personal experience, it's always been the dude who really didn't have any options like that. Dudes who got options, we going into a relationship knowing that we're gonna be cheating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because first, we really don't want we really don't want to be in a relationship because we know y'all want monogamy, and that we're gonna have to give up the roster of hoes that we already fucking with. So, but what dude in his right mind is gonna give up a roster of hoes that he's already fucking with? No, we're gonna tell you that we did. We're gonna go into this relationship if we really like you, and we still gonna smash these hoes that we got on the side because we men, and that's what we do. Like I keep saying this. There's no man on earth who can see himself fucking the same exact woman all his life for the rest of his life. It's just like when you put it like that, like there's no man who's doing that. There's no man who can see them sexing the exact same woman for the rest of their entire life. If your man, if a fine bitch approaches your man while you're not around, while he's out doing whatever, and she said she want pretty much giving him all that good talk, let's roll, she trying to give it to him, he's going. There's no man that's going to turn down a bad bitch, especially if she's finer than you. Who's going to turn that down? It just doesn't not happen. It doesn't happen.
10 commandments of dating, and that's one of the biggest ones is respect and speaking life. If you go biblical, there's power of life and death in the tongue. And when a man commits to a woman, she is the highest in value of opinions. 10 people could say it, but if she says it, it's very impactful. And so I don't think that women truly understand the level of vulnerability a man has with a woman. And so she's tearing him down. She's putting him into such a terrible place. And there's a book called How to Build an Affair-Proof Marriage. And that's one of the biggest sections talking about if you're making it feel uncomfortable, because remember I said it's the essence of a woman. Men are here for the essence. We're not usually supplying tangibles. So if the essence is a negative thing, they get a whiff of a positive essence at work. And this is not, past cheat. But it's like saying, if you understand certain things, you're not going to put him in a situation to fail. Why would you put him in a vulnerable situation? You don't put food on the table or the low on the table for the dog, the kids, and then wonder why they ate it. Don't put it on the table. Look, but that's the thing. So a lot of women will come in and they're speaking life into him. They're saying he looks handsome. That's the other thing. Women will say, I don't want to gas him up. He I don't need to do like he's not human. I don't want to feel complimented too. He got his little chest puffed out. Comment. Oh, I see that
was one of the first things my mama told me. Is like, I was like, Mom, how do you treat a man? Because I saw her and my daddy fist fighting shit. And she said, you honestly want to know? She said, well, she said, just compliment him. And I was like, compliment him? She said, yeah, like tell him how great he looks. Tell him how, good of a man he is. Thank him if he does something for you. And I'm like, what?
The basics.
And I'm like, that works. She said,
yes, that works, but it's something that black women hardly ever do these days. Like, they don't give compliments. They don't want. It's like they don't want to no longer tell their man that he's fine, that he's sexy, that he's smart. Oh, baby, you doing the damn thing. I value you. You're the best man I ever had. Like, black women are not doing that at all, which is a reason that black men are going outside of their ethnic race and dating other ethnic groups of women, as far as Asians, Latinas, and white women. Even though that's not my cup of tea, I prefer to be with a black woman and procreate with a black woman. But I can understand as to why some black men are seeking elsewhere, because it seems like the women in other ethnic groups, they're nicer, they smile more, they cater more, they're more in tune with their man's feelings and how he feels and what he wants and demands from her. They're more in tune with that. Y'all black bitches, like, I don't understand how y'all want a relationship, want a man, but your whole attitude is like, I don't want a man. I want a man, but I don't need you. You're never gonna get a man with that type of attitude. These other ethnic groups of people, like, I've seen it, they're pretty much in a nutshell showing that dude with their actions that they absolutely need that man. Let's roll.
That works. Just a simple thank you.
I asked my guy, like, what do you want? And I'm ready for this list, because Lord knows as women, we got a list.
Mm-hmm.
This, and I like physical affection. I like words of affirmation. He's like, cook for me. That's it. Like, the most basic. And I love spoiling him. I love pouring into him. I try to be the partner to him that I want in return, whether it's affection, words of affirmation, just being kind and considerate. And I think that sometimes because of these caricatures that the media paints of men, and there's just these stoic men who don't have feelings or just go out and get the bag, they don't realize they actually have fears and hopes and insecurities. And the jokes when people are in couples, like, I hate that when I'm somewhere. If someone says something, oh yeah, my husband sucks at that, I'm just like, why? That
There's a lot of things you can say you suck at too.
Look, I'm like, do not tell me. I told my guy when I first met him, if you need to correct me, do not do it in public. And please don't ever put me down in public. Like that, you get me to shut down immediately. You don't have to agree with what I said, but wait till we get in the car and be like, you were all the way wrong, man. Like, you should have your person's back in public. You guys should be unified. And just like you wouldn't trash yourself, why are you trashing your person? Like, they should feel the best when they are with you. And then when you do have to constructively criticize, it doesn't feel like you're tearing them down. It's like, I genuinely want to listen, because normally she's so pleasant and uplifting, and if she's saying something, this must really be something salient.
Right. Now, listen, I could talk to you for hours and stuff like that. And I'm glad that, because I know you say you don't do a lot of interviews and stuff. So I'm honored that you really took the time to come, bless our viewers with your knowledge and stuff.
I'm the crazy girl.
Because you was like, why you want to talk to me? I was like, no. I come in peace.
Because some people, they just want clips. Like, I'll give you one example. I know I don't want to hype your thing.
It's okay.
I gave an example, and I have to go crazy for women to understand things sometimes, or crazy for men to understand. And I give metaphors. So I said, men, this is the equivalent of what you're asking. And I gave a hypothetical, intentionally goofy scenario. Like, you just met a woman and you put her name on the deed. Literally, that's what I was equating to you meeting her and expecting her to give it up that night. I gave a hypothetical. This guy put me in a compilation video of stupid things that women say online. And he clipped it to where it sounded like I was saying, if you meet a woman, you should put her on the deed the next day. And I'm like, bruh.
Oh, wow. No, I don't play those games. No, we don't do that.
So I'm like,
we deal with authentic content over here. Yeah. No, but I was going to ask you, I know you said if you want to know 22 places to meet men offline, and you have a link to that. So I was wondering if you could give us 5, and then our viewers will happily click the link.
I think I'm gonna stop that, cut that right there. We're not really interested in the 5 places that women can go to meet men. I mean, we kind of pretty much know that. If y'all don't know that, they go to Tasha K's, page and look up this live, and scroll to the end. Y'all get that information. But this is pretty much. I pretty much got the gist of everything in a nutshell. We're on a 46-minute mark of this 1-hour video. So the one thing I want to talk about is that the women, like these self-proclaimed dating coaches, the one thing that they would never say and speak and you pretty much converse with other women is how much having kids lowers your value. And of course, she's not going to touch on that because she got kids herself. So if she were to touch on that and agree with that, then of course it will bring down her value as well. And we know a woman will never, they're never going to do that. They're never going to want to do that, even though we know and they know that having baggage plummets a woman's value. Like until we get there, until we get to that part, we will never be able to, until woman understands that and agrees, we will never be able to progress and move forward, because these bitches still think that coming out here into the dating market, being a single mother is still as valuable as a woman who doesn't have kids. And these days, these bitches be having 3, 4, 5, and 6 different kids by 3, 4, 5, and 6 different type of men. And it's like the more kids you have, the more your value plummets. The more baby daddies you have, you might as well go ahead and multiply that as the more of your value plummeted. And I don't think we're ever going to get there, because the majority of women are single mothers and they still are holding out hope that there's still some sucker ass, sip ass nigga out there who's going to feel that there is value and important enough for that dude to wanting to take on you and another nigga's kids and financially support for you and those kids. And it's just not happening. But that's it in a nutshell. I want to pretty much I want to dead that right there. But like, comment, subscribe. This your boy Black Talk TV, and I'm out. Peace.